Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to my channel. So, this is the story of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha and the prisoner. So, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha says that after one of the battles, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had one of the prisoners and he brought the prisoner home, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told me to watch the prisoner. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Be careful and don't lose sight of him." And this is very serious, right? This is after the battle and you have the prisoner of war. And Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha had been told, "Don't lose sight of this prisoner." The Prophet ﷺ leaves the house. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha says that some of my friends came over and we started to talk. And as we were socializing, she said that I completely forgot about the prisoner. By the time I went to the other room and he was gone. So the Prophet ﷺ comes back home and he looks in the room and he notices that the prisoner was gone. He says, "Ya Aisha, what happened?" She said, "Ya Rasulullah, some of my friends came over and I lost sight of him, and so I couldn't hold on to him." The Prophet ﷺ says, "Qata Allah yadak." May Allah cut off your hands. And that was an expression, right? And the Prophet ﷺ immediately leaves out of the house, going to look for the prisoner. Now this is very serious situation, right? This is a man that's on the loose, that literally was just in battle with the Muslims and could do something dangerous. Now Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she is at home and she just heard the Prophet ﷺ say, "May Allah cut off your hands." And even though it's an expression, she knows her husband. She has witnessed his miracles, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she is in complete dread that something bad is going to happen to her. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes back home and he sees Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha in the living room, and she is looking at her hands and she's turning them over, and as tuqallibu yudayha, the narration says, she is looking at her hands, watching them, turning them over, and Prophet ﷺ says, "What are you doing, Ya Aisha?" She says, "I am looking at my hands to see which of them is going to fall off because of your dua against me when you said, 'Qata Allah yadak.'" And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ya Aisha, don't you know if I say something like that to someone in my ummah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it a source of purification for them? You don't have to worry about one of your hand falling off." And the Prophet ﷺ actually made a dua. He said, "Allahumma fa'ayyuma mu'minan sababtuhu faj'al dharika qurbatan ilaykal yawmal qiyamah." He said, "Oh Allah, if there is any mu'min, any believer that I curse in the midst of anger or in the midst of any expression, faj'al dharika lahul qurbatan ilayk yawmal qiyamah, make that a means of them coming closer to you on the day of judgment, coming close to you on the day of judgment." So even in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's anger with you, if he said or used any of these expressions, even that was a mercy from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.